Hello and welcome to Talk of Good Games in association with our sponsors Royal London Watches. Just finished over at the London Stadium. West Ham United 1, Sunderland 0 thanks to a very last minute to Winston Reid. Tom, let's talk about the match highlights. In the 93rd minute Winston Reid scored. What do you make of that?
I don't know, some people say it deserved, some people not deserved. That was probably one of the worst 90 minutes of football we've witnessed this season. It was a shocking game of football, and to be honest with you, I don't know who deserved it really in the end, but it was a last minute winner. Reid nicked it in, shot from the edge of the box, and we'll take the win, last gasp winner.
Tom, given our form over recent weeks, do you not think that's the type of, could you argue that's the type of result we need, one that would do just nick and scrape by the grit of our teeth?
Look, at the end of the day, it's 3 points, and 3 points what we need at the minute, and if it comes in a scrappy way, in a scrappy form, when it is a 93rd minute winner from the edge of the box like that, we'll have to take it. It's 3 more points on the board, and we're moving up the table, and we're going into with a positive mindset into Everton next week, which we know is going to be a tough game.
Tom says we're going into next week with a positive mindset, but are we?
No, I mean that's really surreal. As I always say, it's 5 minutes after kickoff, after the final whistle. So we've all watched that. I turned the camera around to me at the end to really start complaining, and then Winston Reid scored a winner. So I mean it was pretty poor. I'm not sure we're going with a positive mindset though.
Do you think we've mugged Sunderland off a little bit today?
It seemed to be two teams playing for the draw, which was really strange. Obviously Sunderland wanted a draw. I don't know why, they needed more than a draw, as you pointed out. But we also seem to be going for the draw and playing it safe, which is strange, but we won it at the end. We're obviously all jubilant at the moment. It's very easy to spin it as a victorious thing there, but that was, and I'm delighted that we won, but the 89, well, we scored in the 94th minute possibly, so the 93 minutes that preceded it were not overly fantastic.
Do you agree with Gonzo there? He says that both teams played for the draw. Do you agree with that, Tom, initially?
I don't think we played for the draw, because the first 20 minutes we came out like we did against Crystal Palace. We came out firing, quick out of the traps. As the game wore on, it almost seemed to slow down. Sunderland took the pace out of the game, and it was just a lot of nothing. There was just a lot of passing in midfield, very static, not many movements, nobody making moves off the ball. And in the end, it just became a bit boring. But I don't, like we said, that first sort of 20 minutes, I don't think you can say we were playing for the draw at all. But we come away somehow with the 3
You've
points.
said it's static, it was a bit boring. Who's to blame for that? Is it Bilic's tactics, or is it the players trying to conduct the tactics on the pitch?
I really don't know anymore, because like I said, the first 20 minutes we come out the traps so quickly, and we were very effective. We broke them down on the wings, but like I said, as the game wore on, it was just the players seemed disinterested. Pyatt, I don't know where he was today. Somehow the stadium operators gave him man of the match, and he didn't do anything all game, and it's just very strange to see. It's not the fluid, offensive and attacking West Ham we've seen from the last year, and it was just very boring and disappointing to see.
Gonzo, what do you think was missing today? I mean, we've just discussed both of you. I agree with both of you. We're missing something today, and it was just. What do you think the something is that we're missing?
Ambition.
Ambition for what?
Ambition to win the game. We made like-for-like changes. So we took off a right-sided player, put on a right-sided player, took off a forward, put on a forward. As you made the point at the time, we needed to take off a defender and put on another forward. I don't think that we really showed the ambition to win the game when it got to those latter stages. And that's going to be very easy for people to post the comments, and please do, to shoot me down and say, well, hold on a second, you won 1-0. But anyone that was there, or anyone that watched that game live as opposed to perhaps 10-minute highlights, will see what I mean. We were looking like it was just going to be a 1-1 draw. So I think we lacked a bit of ambition, a bit of gumption to go and win the game.
See, last weekend, though, the players were up for it. Now, we're only missing Creswell. There was only one change today. What's changed? Because Salazar didn't look up for it. Dimitri Payet, as Tom said, did nothing to influence the game. Antonio looks like he couldn't really be bothered very much. There was just nothing on the pitch. What's changed in the space of 7 days?
Okay, well, Crystal Palace are in a run of really good form, so I think they knew they needed to go to Crystal Palace and pull out all the stops to win the game. I thought they perhaps, I don't know, it's a theory. I thought they thought today would be easy.
Do you think it's the pressure, Tom? I argued on the preview that last week we went to Palace, there was no pressure on us. Today, pressure's back on us. Do you think we're suffering from the burden on our shoulders that there's 60,000 people turning up, or 57, whatever it is, turning up going, you need to win today? Do you think the players can detect the change in atmosphere and expectation of the fans.
I think so, yeah. I mean, you have to argue that they haven't really found their feet at home yet. I hear people when I'm inside the ground, complaining that the pitch is too big, the fans on their backs. I mean, they're all things that contribute. They wanting to perform for the fans, but it must be very daunting for them, it seems, because it's the same stuff week in, week out when we're at home. We don't see any change. And I genuinely, I don't know what it was today that affected it, but until we win comfortably here, I think we're still going to see performances that we've struggled in, and bang out 1-0 or boring 0-0 draws for the rest of the season.
I'm not accepting that it's daunting, the pitch is too big, right? Because for a fact, I'm pretty certain, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty certain over in the training ground at Rush Green, there's a pitch the exact same size as that, with the exact same grass, the height of the grass is the exact same, it's cut by the same people. So I don't buy this, the pitch is too big. We also didn't move into it as a surprise. We knew we were moving into that years ago, okay? As soon as the season finished in May, we should have been preparing for playing on that pitch. Forget the Upton Park one, forget the side, we should have been preparing to play it on that. The fact that there's 60,000 seats, again, it's not a surprise. And also, the fans aren't booing. The fans aren't saying, the fans are behind the team as much as they can be. I don't see how it can be a burden. Now, if you always say it's because there's a lot of fans, there's a lot of fans at Old Trafford, there's a lot of fans at the Emirates, it doesn't matter. We're expected to play in front of these crowds. Some of these players are international players. Dimitri Payet was playing at Euro 2016 with millions of people watching on TV, and he performed. Today against Sunderland, he did not perform. His crosses were rubbish, his corners were rubbish, his through balls were rubbish. Not only were they rubbish, the vision was rubbish. He was trying them when he shouldn't be. I almost feel like the 10 players on the pitch are thinking, can you please bring on Andy Carroll so we can just lump it into the box, please? Can you please give us a very easy route, because I cannot be arsed trying to weave my way through.
It did look like they were looking for a high ball.
I think this is the thing. I mean, if you look at Zaza, he creates runs off the ball. He constantly trying to spring that offside trap. He doesn't like it up around his head. He doesn't control it well. Every time you see it around his head, he'll try an overhead kick. I think it's the third one he tried this season, which was nearly a goal. But he wants it to feet. You can see he wants to make the run for the through ball, but nobody's giving him that option. They're giving him the pass over his head, or they're trying to work it into the box from the wide areas, and I just don't think he's suited to that. If we can nip in a pass behind the defender, then fair enough, but we were lacking that today. We lacked any creativity whatsoever from everybody, and it wasn't just Payet, Lanzini, Antonio. I thought Faguli when he came on was alright, but I don't think we're playing to his strengths at the minute.
The thing is, I don't think they know how to do creativity. Faguli came on, to me is a traditional winger, get down the wing and cross it. There's no point crossing it when there's no one in the box, right? So he's trying to give it to Payet, he's trying these fancy through balls. It's just not working, it's frustrating to watch. Gonzo, we've won the game. Is there any positives to take from today except the fact that we won?
Yeah, Obiang played well again.
What about Fernandes?
Considering he's a right footer, playing at left wing back, yeah, I would say so. A £5 million player.
Has he staked his claim?
The fans are singing.
Well, at least they're cheery. Do you think Fernandes has said, I'm playing in a position, look at the shift I can put in, I should be starting next week, not left wing back, but I should be starting?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm just listening to the band singing on from blowing bubbles. And you know what, I mean, we could do all this tactical analysis, and the fans are happy because we won, and that's it. So sorry, what was your question?
I'll ask Tom. Tom, what do you make of Fernandes? Has he made a claim for the shirt for next weekend?
I don't think he's done enough, but again, you can't judge him off of left wing back. When he plays.
No, but you can judge him for his effort, which is the other 10 players were lacking.
He gave effort, yes, but I don't think he's done enough because.
What do you mean not enough? Antonio didn't give effort, Payet didn't give effort, Lanzini didn't give effort. So if you're going to say this guy,
he's got to be better than Cresswell, though, and I'm not, and he's not
no,
better than
but
Cresswell.
what I'm saying is he should be starting, just not left wing back. Village needs to find a place for him.
Who does he drop though? Because Obiang's he's performing.
I'm not talking about Obiang. I'm talking about our three behind the striker. Them three were awful today. The three of them didn't look interested. They didn't give Zaza anything at all. That Zaza has got about 6 games left to convince West Ham United to buy him. Now, while we all agree he's not worth 24 million, right? We're all in debate whether we should or not, whether he's a West Ham player or not. But the point is, that guy's got about 6 games left, and we're not giving him any chances to prove that he's worth it. We're mugging Zaza off here. How is Zaza meant?
I think you're into the realms of the manager then. I think if what you're saying is the team as a whole, if Antonio's not performing, if Lanzini's not performing, if Payet's not performing, then you're in the realms of actually the manager perhaps is not putting together a system that is going to allow Zaza to flourish, really. So they can't all be off form at the same time. There's a bigger picture going on, and I tell you what, that's a big let-off, because that's 6 games out of the last 2 games, and that's great. The fans are singing, everyone's happy. Clearly, I've not seen the results yet from today, but clearly we'll have moved up the league, because obviously everyone in the league can't win. What?
We're about the same. Burnley won around us and Stoke won around us, so we're about 15th, I think.
Well, you've just ruined my point, Tom. I don't know why you're coming on the videos, but you know, I just think he's had a hell of a let-off with 6 points from the last 2 games, but it does mask and papers over the cracks.
Does this make Chelsea even bigger than it was before today, the fact that we haven't won today?
No, it's a cup game. It's a completely separate entity, not at all.
So, Tom, do you agree with that? Do you think I think it's become bigger. The fact that if he doesn't go through on Wednesday night, I think the crowd are going to get a little bit grumpy.
Sorry, a bit shake it up, baby.
He wants to join in. He wants to join in and start singing. That's why.
Well, pity our players didn't feel like that when the ball got kicked.
No, I don't think it matters. It's the Capital One Cup at the end of the day. It's not the FA Cup. I think he plays youth. I think maybe Martinez, Fletcher gets a run out, but I don't think it has any bearing on our form in the league. I really don't.
Well, before we get the final comments from these guys and their man of match, you might have to scrape the barrel for that one. Make sure you subscribe to our channel here on Hammers Chat. Give us your opinion. We want to hear it, whether it's below or on our forum at hammerschat.com. We'll be back Monday noon. We'll be back Monday noon with our preview for Chelsea. Gonzo, any last words or any overall thoughts from the game while we've been dissecting it? Anything come to your mind?
No, not really. We walked in a good mood. We were in a pretty bad mood halfway through, getting towards the end, and we walk out in a good mood. So, all the analysis aside, you can hear the fans singing. Everyone's in a pretty damn good mood now because we won the game, and that's great.
Lastly, is it quite embarrassing that we've now gone 13, 14 competitive games without a striker scoring a goal, and we've relied on a centre back scoring a goal today? Well,
that's another show on its own. Maybe we can do a show just on that. Yeah, I mean, the striker situation is another show on its own. Yeah, I think it's a serious issue. I'm not going to do 20 minutes on it, but there you go.
We'll do that neither the January transfer window and after Chelsea game. But Tom, any last words from you?
Just to back up what Gonzo said, it might not have been a pretty win, but it's 3 points after all, and we have to be positive with that going into Everton. Something needs to be said on the training pitch. Maybe we'll be more comfortable playing away from home, you know, like we showed at Crystal Palace. Maybe there are still areas that we need to sort out at home, but maybe playing away from home might have the extra confidence. We get Cresswell back. And you know, we could be sitting pretty after the Everton game, but you can hear the mood of everybody here. We're happy. It's 3 points at the end of the day, no matter how the result came, and yeah, we move on to Everton next week. Fingers crossed.
Well, man of match from them in a second. Again, we want to know your thoughts. Has today raised a lot of questions, or hasn't given you a lot of answers? For us, it sounds like there's a lot of questions. What's going on? Why are we performing? We want to know your thoughts. Gonzo, man of match, if there is one.
Obiang for me.
Obiang, easily.
And it's Fernandes for me. He's playing a unnatural position. His first start for the first team in the Premier League. I thought he looked fantastic down that left-hand side. I hope Billich starts him.
I think all I'll say is that Obiang is matched Kouyate's work rate from last year, and he is brilliant defensively. Some of the tackles he's put in today are absolutely fantastic, and long may it continue. He's really showing what he can do with a run in the first team.
Well, I think Kouyate's distribution was poor again today, despite that it's entered back. But anyway, that's for another show. Thank you very much for joining us, Hammer Chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and be back on Monday at noon with our preview. Thank you for watching.
Brilliant. Well done.